I do not write every day because I teach and I'm a mom and I'm busy. But when I do write, I try to make that time really count. So on a regular basis, I have friends, Nancy, that I meet with in the back over there. We meet on Sundays and Tuesdays. And so, we'll work for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours together on those days. And then this semester I'm actually not teaching, so I have been writing every day, working on something new. But that's a luxury, and that's not usually how things go. It's usually about 2 or 3 times per week, and evenings after the kids go to bed. And when I'm on a deadline, the laundry doesn't get done, everybody lives off meatballs, and my husband does lots and lots of bedtimes while I try to finish. So it's a team effort at our house. I wrote the whole thing, and then I decided that it wasn't working, and so I have gone back and I've started over, and it's called Worst Vacation Ever, and it's very loosely based on a vacation that I took with my parents when I was 12. An RV vacation up the west coast of the United States. That was, it was wonderful when we went, but in my book, it's catastrophe after catastrophe, and I wrote it like a regular, straightforward novel, but now I'm going back and I'm incorporating a lot of illustration. My character is an artist. She's doodles and cartoons, and so big chunks of the book are actually visually represented. So you have to look at the picture and then keep reading in order to fully understand the story. So that's what I'm doing right now. About a little under halfway through. So recently, like for this, I learned something different with every book. And I think really for this one, I learned a lot about structure, because usually I'm not a planner. I don't organize my stories. And for this book, I tried something different because I learned a lot about cinematic structure when I was writing Lights, Camera, Disaster. And so I took that knowledge and I tried to apply it to this book. So people say that this book reads faster than the other ones, and it's a little bit more visual, which is kind of what I was going for. So I tried to write this movie like I would see it on a screen, and having the screenplay structure really helped me to not have to do as many revisions, because usually plot is really hard for me. So I knew where my plot was going before I even sat down to write it, and that was super helpful. I am a middle grade voice in my head. I am about as awkward and, like I came here tonight, this is a new dress, and I had the price tag on all the way up until I was getting ready to leave. Like, that's just where I live. So for me, that voice and that age just really resonates. I think it's a great time in terms of story. There's a lot of possibility for kids. I think in terms of readership, it's probably the best one out there, because kids just latch on to books at that age and they just love them to pieces. And when I tried to write adult stuff, it was terrible. And I think it's because I think adult problems are boring, and adults don't have, I don't know, maybe they do have great stories, but I think kids have more possibility. And when I started writing in this age group, it just sort of like the heavens opened, and that's the voice for me. So I never say that I'll never do something, but I'm not as inclined to try.
Are they all in the first person?
Yes, yep. The new one that I'm revising, I wrote in the third person. Now I'm changing it to first.